Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla's huge price cuts ending, new color options, Tesla's impact report, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, Tesla is known for offering only a very select number of customization options for their vehicles, traditionally only offering 5 colors and 1 to 2 wheel options depending on trim. Recently though, they have been expanding these options quite a bit. Recently, we saw a wheel update for the Model Y. Some new Model Ys were spotted being transported out of Fremont with updated, darker wheels. These wheels match the color of the updated wheel covers, which we saw as an option for the vehicle's avatar and in the service menu. Now, a comparison photo in the wild has been shared of these new wheel covers. On the left is the old silver color, and on the right is the new black color. The center emblem has been darkened, and there's less contrast between the wheel spokes and accents. In the configurator, the old 19-inch Gemini light wheels are included, and the new 19-inch Gemini dark wheels are a $500 upgrade. Then you can still get the 20-inch induction wheels for a $2,000 upgrade. In addition to new wheels, Tesla appears to be experimenting with new paint colors. In 2022, Tesla introduced 2 new paint colors out of Germany, Quicksilver and Midnight Cherry Red. Then very recently, we saw the official introduction of Quicksilver as a paint option for the Model Y. It's available on the long range and performance trims only. Now, Tesla has launched a new color called Lunar Silver on the Model S and X for $2,500. They have updated the landing page for the Model S and X to be this new color, and this new silver is in the configurator, adding a 6th option. Stealth Gray is still the included paint with no extra charge, and Pearl White Multicoat, Deep Blue Metallic, and Solid Black are still a $1,500 upgrade. Lunar Silver now joins Ultra Red as a $2,500 upgrade. Those options and pricing are the same for the Model X. Tesla described what sets this new color apart in an email to customers. Quote, lighter, brighter highlights, deeper, darker shadows. Lunar Silver is a clean silver color with a pronounced metallic effect and subtle blue tint. By utilizing new pigments, this paint achieves a technical and dynamic feel that accentuates the form of Model S and Model X from any angle under the sun. Here's an image of Lunar Silver on a Model X at a Tesla showroom. Comparing the Quicksilver Model Y and Lunar Silver Model X, the Lunar Silver does seem to be a bit brighter. As always, it's great to see new options for these vehicles so owners can customize them and make them truly their own. Hopefully, we'll get to see these new Lunar Silver models on the road very soon. At the time of this video, delivery timelines for a Lunar Silver Model X say now through June 2024. Next up today, there are only 2 days left as this video is going up to take advantage of one of the best deals the Model Y has ever seen. Right now, Model Y pricing is lower than ever in regards to MSRP. For many, that's the cost that makes the most sense at first glance. But when you dive into the way many people are paying for these cars with loans, an interest rate incentive is actually a far bigger savings than a simple price drop in many cases. The new rear-wheel drive long-range model gets 320 miles of range for $44,990. Upgrading to all-wheel drive comes in at $47,990, and then performance is $51,490. The big advantage that all trims have is that they all qualify for the US federal EV tax credit if you qualify. So if you qualify, that amount comes off at the point of sale. But typically when financing a Model Y, your monthly payment ends up very high due to high interest rates right now. Over the past year, while Tesla has dropped prices, savings for many customers have essentially been negated by interest rates. Interest rates for a Model 3, for example, right now are at 6.49%. So if you decide to buy a long-range Model 3 for $47,740, you're looking at a rough estimate of $752 per month for 72 months. That means you're paying roughly $54,000 in car payments over 6 years, plus the initial $4,500 down payment, ultimately leading to $58,644 for that car, not even fully accounting for taxes and fees. For a Model Y long range though, thanks to current interest rate incentives, you could get it for much lower. On the Model Y's homepage, Tesla is offering a 0.99% interest rate for 2 more days. In practice, this is available for 36, 48, and 60-month loans. Then for 72-month loans, that goes up to 1.99%. For 84-month loans, it goes up to 2.99%. Neither of those are as good as 0.99%, of course, but it is still less than half of what we expect interest rates to return to come June. For an 84-month loan, that means you can get the price per month down to about $557. Then if you qualify for the federal EV tax credit, that goes down to $468 a month. That's for 84 months at 2.99%, so there are tons of considerations for your particular situation, but it's definitely something to look into. Most wouldn't recommend a 7-year loan term on a car loan, but this is an example of how low these monthly payments can get for those paying in that way. The way Tesla is advertising this is even more extreme, since they are including their estimated gas savings. They say that a Model Y can be obtained for as low as $299 per month. That would be pretty incredible, and in the right scenario, it could be how it plays out for you. However, in practice, your loan payments will actually be higher, and you'll see yourself saving that extra money by not going to the gas station. If you fill up at superchargers all the time, though, this savings won't be as extreme as if you were able to charge at home. This is a very incredible deal that could save you thousands when buying a Model Y and financing. Obviously, we are expecting that sometime in the near future, Tesla is going to refresh this car with everything that the new Model 3 has. But now might be the exact best time to take delivery of a current Model Y if the situation is right for you. If you like the features it delivers today and the price makes sense, you probably can't go wrong. This deal is expiring in June, but over at Ford, they are offering 0% financing on the Mustang Mach-E. Other companies have strong APR offers as well, so if needed, we could see those financing deals return for Tesla. At the surface, they may not seem as good as a price drop of something like $2,000, but they absolutely save far more over the course of the loan. Instead of somewhere around $58,000 for a $48,000 car over the course of a loan, you could be looking at something like $51,000 for a $48,000 car over the course of a loan. Tesla's calculator does do a good job helping you include estimated gas savings or not for your situation, and add the tax credit if you qualify. Next up today, Tesla has published their impact report for 2023, and it shows just how much their work is affecting the environment in positive ways. According to their research, Tesla vehicles are responsible for releasing 20 million fewer tons of CO2 into the atmosphere through their efficient electric fleet. They say that's roughly equivalent to, quote, about 51 billion miles of driving an internal combustion engine vehicle. Their mission to reduce carbon emissions is aided by their commitment to electrifying and removing fossil fuels throughout the entire energy chain. Tesla builds solar energy systems, large and home-scale energy storage solutions, and efficient charging stations that help reduce the need for polluting fossil fuel energy sources. Over the course of its lifetime, Tesla estimates that the average vehicle from them will be directly responsible for avoiding 51 tons of greenhouse gases being added to the environment. They add that while the average electric vehicle does have a bigger manufacturing carbon footprint than an equivalent ICE vehicle, it doesn't take long for that to shift the other way. They estimate that an EV will fall below the carbon emission threshold of an ICE vehicle in just 3 years, and will continue those savings well beyond that point. This number is inherently conservative, since it relies on current electricity efficiency and doesn't account for any future improvements to sustainable sourcing of electricity. As the grid continues to shift in that direction, EVs should reach that break-even point even faster. Tesla also carries on their mission of sustainability by increasing the length of service for their vehicles. The average car in the United States is retired after driving about 200,000 miles and 150,000 miles in Europe. By the time the average Tesla reached that 200,000 mile threshold, they estimate that the average battery has only lost between 12 and 15% of its battery capacity. Tesla is also on the cutting edge of battery recycling efforts, with over 90% of the materials that are recovered from cars and scrap being recycled. In 2023, Tesla was able to recover 2,432 tons of nickel, 117 tons of cobalt, 860 tons of copper, and 329 tons of lithium. Beyond recycling, Tesla has been working to ensure a cleaner and more humanitarian supply chain for their new battery materials. They are actively working on strategies designed to reduce the environmental strain on their material mining operations by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, reducing use of toxic materials, and preventing water contamination from mining. As for new minerals, over 50% of their nickel and over 75% of their lithium was still sourced directly from mines and refiners in 2023. Over 70% of their direct nickel suppliers and 100% of their direct lithium suppliers completed or committed to completing an audit in order to mitigate risk. In this report, Tesla also included a photo of their new lithium refinery in Corpus Christi, Texas, which is currently under construction. They also include a breakdown of how they invest in communities where they operate. These efforts, quote, promote purchasing policies, programs, and processes that contribute to socio-economic benefits where Tesla suppliers operate. An example of this is Giga Texas's historically underutilized business program, which supports the growth of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in Texas. Since 2021, Tesla has invested around $1.4 billion in programs like these. That includes a 32% increase in spending year over year and a 45% increase year over year in the number of impacted suppliers. Overall, Tesla acknowledges that manufacturing at such a large scale comes with a great deal of risk, both economically and environmentally, but they are doing everything in their power to mitigate that risk. This impact report also details things like FSD safety and more, showing the impact of Tesla as a company overall. Their full summary and full report are online and may be worth looking into if you're interested. Next up today, Tesla has been clearing house lately, laying off over 10% of their global workforce over the last few months. As part of that process, Tesla's supercharger division was cleared out entirely. Reportedly, Elon Musk had asked Tesla's head of charging, Rebecca Tanucci, to fire 15 to 20% of her team. She did, but Elon wanted her to cut back even more, and then Tanucci pushed back, resulting not only in herself being asked to leave the company, but her entire department of around 500 people as well. This seems to have happened as an example to other departments, warning them what would happen if they didn't comply with the cutbacks. Still, it doesn't look like this move correlates much to a change in Tesla's charging strategy. Elon has said that Tesla will still be investing around $500 million in supercharging this year, and we're seeing them backtrack on some of those layoffs. In the last few weeks, about a dozen team members have reportedly been rehired. Among them is Jowua Console, Tesla's senior manager of site acquisition and business development for commercial charging. He made the announcement that he was rehired on LinkedIn, and he quoted Tanucci, calling her the team's former fearless leader. Quote, "You work at Tesla because you hope to have at least a small impact on our collective future, aspirationally, to leave the world better for our children and grandchildren and their children and grandchildren by accelerating the transition to sustainable energy. And that mission is too important to allow any distractions." He goes on to explain, "My heart is with our customers, our site hosts, all the stakeholders that make EV charging possible, and the Tesla mission of changing the world." One of the main barriers to EV adoption is still charging infrastructure, and he believes he can make the most impact by returning to Tesla. I can imagine there may be a great deal of ill will moving forward if Tesla decides to hire back more of that team. Hopefully, Bahadu's solidarity with Tanucci's decision to fight for her team will help smooth that transition, but time will tell. It will be a very interesting thing to see here at Tesla. Next up today, after a series of delays, we have some new insights into the progress of Tesla's electric semi. The truck was first unveiled in 2017, and at that time, Tesla estimated it would enter production in 2019. It didn't come until 2022, however, and its production has been extremely limited. In its first year, the truck was only used internally and by PepsiCo. As of October last year, Tesla had only produced about 70 of these trucks, but we've heard about a handful of additional deliveries since then. Earlier this month, Walmart and Costco both got their own semis. They're still only being rolled out in low volumes, though, as Giga Nevada's new high-volume production line is still under construction. We don't expect true volume production to start until late next year, with wider customer deliveries starting in 2026. The infrastructure to charge these also needs to be there. For now, PepsiCo is Tesla's main electric semi customer, and we have some new updates regarding recent deliveries. Dan Priestley, head of the semi program, spoke at ACT last week, and he addressed some of the delays we've heard about. He said, quote, "Tesla has a specialty, and that is turning the impossible into merely late. I think that there are some narratives that seem to think that electric heavy trucking is still impossible. You might hear someone say that it's really hard. Well, guess what? It is really hard. We've been doing it, but it is absolutely worth doing, and we do not enter this industry lightly." Ever since Tesla was founded, there have been those that believed that what they were doing was impossible, or even just an extraordinarily bad idea. With each new product they introduce, though, they challenge that notion, and they currently manufacture the best-selling car in the world. The Semi is just the next product in Tesla's list of unrealistic goals that they will achieve, even if it comes later than we thought it would. Priestley went on to talk about how even though Tesla is not the only company to be making electric semis, they are the only company to have built one from the ground up, and that is a distinct advantage. Quote, "There's no wasted space. The powertrain and the vehicle work hand in hand. We saw this on the light-duty side, and we're seeing it all over again on the heavy-duty side." For that reason, he argues the Tesla Semi will be able to do the same work a diesel truck can do. PepsiCo's fleet is currently seeing an average of 1.7 kilowatt hours per mile while carrying heavy loads. He also asserted that Tesla is still planning to deploy megachargers to support these semis on the road. To be very clear, charging is core to Tesla. This year, we are investing more than $500 million in new supercharger stations expanding the network. We're going to make sure that every vehicle we deliver has a charging solution supported that could come in a variety of flavors. Confidence in Tesla's supercharger strategy has wavered a little since the firing of basically the entire supercharger team. We'll just have to wait and see if that has any impact on Tesla's goal for megacharger deployment. So far, they only have deployed stations at PepsiCo's facilities and haven't started on a public network yet. Regardless, they plan to deliver another 50 Tesla semi-trucks to PepsiCo ahead of volume production. Hopefully, they are able to meet that new energy demand with new megachargers. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. While Rivian is currently working on bringing their more affordable R2 and R3 vehicles to market, the automaker is working on cost-cutting within their R1 vehicles. Rivian has just applied to certify the upcoming 2025 models of their R1S and T vehicles, and the public documentation has given us some insight into what changes are coming. For one, it seems like Rivian is going to start offering a cheaper LFP battery as the new base battery option. This battery will likely have a lower range than their current minimum of 270 miles, but would likely be offered at a lower price to entice customers. LFP batteries can be regularly charged up to 100% without causing degradation, so they may be able to find a sweet spot in battery capacity that doesn't sacrifice too much range in practice while getting those price cuts. A lot of companies are starting to use LFP batteries in their entry-level vehicles, so seeing Rivian do this isn't too surprising. The documents also show that these vehicles will be receiving new 22-inch aerodynamic wheels to replace the 21-inch option. An increase in aerodynamics could do a lot to help these vehicles get better ranges, even though larger wheels tend to hurt efficiency a bit. The R1 vehicles will also be receiving a feature that has been long requested and awaited, a heat pump. Older models use a lot of electricity to keep their batteries and cabins warm, but these heat pumps are 3 to 4 times as efficient as the previous tech. It does seem like the R1 vehicles will continue to use CCS charging for the time being, although new owners will receive an NACS adapter with their car. It's a bit disappointing to see that these cars won't be getting built-in NACS yet, but hopefully it won't be too long before we see that functionality make its way natively to Rivian's first-gen vehicles. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see a breakdown of Tesla's biggest competitor, BYD, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.